Hello my dear friends, I hope you all are doing fine. Welcome to this video series where I was explaining to you about the concept of Samkhya philosophy. And what was that philosophy? The philosophy was none other than, it was called as something scientific philosophy, and it was given by, though it does not talk about any incarnation of God, but it talks about something that is somehow related to the concept of Purusha and Prakriti. And we all know that is certainly divided into different evolutes and evolvements which consist in the nature, and it gives us the understanding of the world and how we use our consciousness, that is me, that is I. You use yourself to see the whole world, but if you remove the whole world in front of you, you are just left with the ego, and that is I. That is called consciousness, and that is called Purusha. Okay. So we do have this brief understanding of Purusha and Prakriti now. What is Purusha? Purusha is called the consciousness, and Prakriti is called the like unconscious thing, the natural thing, the natural postulates which evolves. And because of this consciousness, this Prakriti is, because of the constant mixture, it gives rise to three gunas, and it forms different evolutes and evolvements. And because of the certain level of consciousness, the whole world is in front of us. Okay. So what will I tell you today? I'll explain you that what is the key difference between Purusha and Prakriti. We all know that this is conscious and this is not really conscious. We can't exist. I can't exist. I can't speak if I don't really have the consciousness. You can't do your things if you don't really have the consciousness. It will just be a dead body of mine. Will not be speaking to you, because I will not be aware that why am I making you understand. I will have no sense of mine. This body exists because of me. That is the same with you. You exist because of your consciousness. So here we'll put out some difference, and I'll talk to you about 3 points of difference which is between Purusha and Prakriti. Okay. So Purusha is consciousness and Prakriti is non-consciousness. So here the author says that imagine of a scenario that you're looking at a bulb. Okay, so the bulb is right there in front of me and it is glowing, and because of that I can see you, because of the light my face is shining, of course, because of the bulb it's glowing. But is it because of the bulb and the light alone? Is it not because of the electricity? It is because of the electricity, right? So the bulb is glowing because of the electricity. So we can say that we are glowing and I am talking to you because of a consciousness. So consciousness exists. That is what Sage Kapila is explaining you, not I. Okay, Sage Kapila is explaining that you exist because of a consciousness. अभी तक यहाँ तक आपको समझ में आ गया ना? I hope you understand this well. Okay, because further karikas will give you some insightful contents. Okay. So if this is very clear to you, I'll explain you the second part. Okay, I'll read that out. I'll read some lines. He says, we get so lost thinking about our job, thinking about our relationships and our reputations, and there are certain scenarios where the job will be lost and the relationship change, and of course the pride of that job and the pride of that high level of reputation which you had will also get lost from your life, and you will be left with nothing. And what will happen then? So he says here that we all are possessed by all these material desires of this Prakriti, which is our body, which is the environment which is near and dear to us. But we don't really understand ourselves, we don't really understand our consciousness. Here he's speaking that there are certain categories to understand that, and there are certain traits. What are those traits? Let us understand that. Okay. The traits are Vishya, second is Samayan and Achitam, and he says about Prasad Bhadarni. Okay, Prasabhadarni. Okay, first is Vishya. The world is measurable, but not with the consciousness all alone. The consciousness is not really measurable, but Prakriti is measurable. He says that you can measure, you can actually, weigh this, you can actually do everything out there with the help of the perception which is right there. But you can really perceive it because of your sense. This is what Sankhya is explaining you. You can perceive the pen because of the sense which you have. Okay. So he also gives an example of this phone. He says you can measure the test of the battery and analyze the screen resolution, of course, but you can't really make a person talk about the experience that the person has. The phone can't really experience that, right? So the second is known as Samayan. Samayan is a concept. He says that the Prakriti is visible and it is actually seen through our eyes, through our perception, and it is very common to all of us out there. Like for example, if I see a blackboard, then you will also see that blackboard according to your perception, and it will be same for you. If I see this pen, and if you believe that this is a pen, this pen will be visible to you from the pen perspective. Like if I say that this is a pen, and you can also say that this is a pen, right? You'll not say that this is blackboard. So this is how the second concept works. Third, he talks about Achitam. Achitam means non-consciousness. He says that Prakriti alone is non-conscious. Like for example, it cannot exist. It cannot exist. Like for example, this pen cannot exist without me. I am responsible to see this pen. I am responsible to be conscious about this pen because I have made this. Who has made this? I have made this because of the collaboration of Purusha and Prakriti. I hope that you're getting my point. Okay. Um, the fourth point is Achitam. He says, of course, it is non-conscious. Okay. The fifth point is known as Prasavadharni. It means generative look at your life. Like for example, it says that it actually changes. It is transformative in nature. Okay, Prasavadharni means it is transformative in nature. The actual Prakriti is transformative, but the consciousness is not transformative. It does not transform into a different soul or something like that. Okay, so the soul or the consciousness remain. Like, I'm just clarifying that. I'm just giving my interpretation in between. I'm extremely sorry for that. I'm not that great enough, but here he says that the Prakriti is evolving. The Prakriti is generating. Like for example, a child grows into a teenager, and then he grows into an adult person, but the consciousness is same in that child. The consciousness doesn't grow like the consciousness 1 or the consciousness 2, like that. It does not really grow in that level. So here what Sankhya is trying to teach us, that we all get lost in our life thinking about all this material desires, thinking about Prakriti all this time. Okay, he earns more. I have this greed inside me to earn more than him. I can see other people happy, but they should not be happy as I am. I want to earn money, but it should be greater than my friends. We all have those kind of desires, but at the end, I'll just point out some words from Kabir. Okay, so he says that we all have to die at the end. We all have to die at the end. We all will get into the mud someday. But why do you keep fighting about all these things which is there in the world? Why do you keep punishing ourselves by being evolved so much in this understanding of the Prakriti? Why do we do that? It is because of I, that is called ego. The ego is binding us so much, that we have lost ourselves, we have lost our creative sense. And that is how this Karika ends. I hope you understand this. If not, then you can just comment. And I want you to look at my videos, and with the help of understanding, you as well are able to make more informative content in the future. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, and good night now.